Hi everyone, I'm back with another video on social anxiety, my ongoing coping with social anxiety. It's been a couple of months since I've done a video here before, but this time I wanted to talk about an experience that I had earlier in the week involving a visit to my dentist and my issues with being not as assertive as I'd like to be and the ramifications of that, and also my dealing with some other things too regarding that situation. I went to the dentist earlier in the week. I hadn't been there for about a year. I usually go every 6 months to get cleanings, but I've been pretty busy this past year with buying a house and also just with a lot of other things with work and numerous things. So I went there for a cleaning, and when I got there, the dentist said to me, we haven't taken x-rays for several years. It's been about 6 years since we did any x-rays. Why don't we do a full set of x-rays, and that way we can see if everything is okay. So I was like, okay, sure. So they did the x-rays, and he looked everything over, and he said, well, looks like we have some problems with a couple of the teeth, 4 teeth to be exact. He said, it looks like you're going to need some root canal work, and it's going to be quite a bit of a lengthy process to do. So I said, well, I'm off today. I said I could probably have it done today if you have the time to do it. So he was like, oh yeah, definitely. So I said, just out of curiosity, how much is this going to cost for the root canal work? And he was like, well, you have dental insurance, so it'll cover some of it, but, a bit of it you're going to have to pay out of pocket, but I could probably give you a break on it. But he was like, we'll work up the figures for you, but let's get the work done first. So that kind of threw me off guard a little bit, being told that I needed root canal work, and also that he didn't even want to show me the figures before he did any of the work. So what I was kind of like was, all right, fine. And I'm thinking to myself later on, I'm like, why didn't I say, no, don't do the work until I want to know what the price of it is. What is it going to cost, before you actually do all this work? And, maybe get a second opinion or something before I actually have the work done. But usually when your dentist tells you that, you need some work done, you kind of trust him. You think that that's the way it's going to be. But I was a little bit kind of ticked off that he was kind of like so ready to do the work without even giving me the figures. And at the end of the day, I wound up with a bill of about $1,500 even after the dental insurance was taken care of, because he wanted the money up front. The other issue that I ran into as well was the $1,500. Obviously, that was a lot more than I expected to pay for a cleaning. Needless to say, I didn't even get the cleaning. I wound up with root canal work. He said to me, he was like, well, if you can pay by a check or by cash, I can give you a bit of a discount. And I said, well, I'm not able to do that because I don't have the cash on me. And I said, as far as the check goes, I have other things that I need to pay with my checking account for. I can't really do that. And he was like, well, let's see what we can do. It's like, why don't you go to the bank and get a cash advance? It's just like a credit card. Now, I'm a financial counselor, and I have been for 10 years. There's no way I'm going to get a cash advance to pay this dentist, because the interest on cash advances are absolutely outrageous. And why am I going to do that if I can just put it on my credit card? He accepts credit cards. And I said, no, I'm not going to pay with a cash advance. That's not something I want to do. And he was like, are you sure? Because, if you pay with a credit card, I'm going to lose like 40%. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why are you taking credit cards if it's going to be that much of an issue? Don't accept credit cards. But I just said to him, no, unfortunately, I have to pay with a credit card. So I did, and that was it. And I didn't get the discount, needless to say. So I was just kind of like really disgusted with this whole experience with the dentist. I'm thinking to myself, did I even really need this root canal work done? Why was he so ready to do the work in a hurry? Why didn't I speak up and say something about it? Why didn't I say, no, I don't want the work done? And why did I not tell him how irritated I was that he asked me to go get a cash advance, and then he was kind of like almost pleading with me to go get a cash advance. So I just was like kind of disappointed in myself that I wound up with all this work done. I might not have needed it, and I wasn't even assertive about the whole thing. So I was angry at the way that he behaved, and I was also angry at myself for not speaking up and not saying anything about it. So I did my share of criticizing myself, which didn't help matters at all. The other thing that I was dealing with too was that after the visit to the dentist, when I was at work for the next couple of days, I started to get very kind of obsessed with this whole experience, where I would be sitting at my desk working and then thinking to myself, how dare he do that to me? I can't believe he actually did that to me. What a bastard for doing that. And then I was angry at myself, saying, why didn't I speak up? Why didn't I say something? Why did I let him do all that work? And I just kept thinking about it, like every couple of minutes, almost like it was a kind of like an OCD thing, where every couple of minutes I kept thinking about it and getting really, really angry about it. And I noticed that I kept turning like really red, and I started like breaking out and everything, which I usually do when I get really like stressed out and angry. So what I did was, after a while of this nonsense going on, where I was just so constantly getting angry at myself and getting so obsessed with it, was I started to say to myself, after taking a deep breath, I would say, Joe, no, you're not going to think about that anymore. No, you're not going to ruin your day by thinking about this lousy dentist and about the fact that you didn't speak up. You learn from it. But no, you're not going to think about it anymore. No, no, no. And of course, I had to do that quite a bit, because I still continued to think about it. But every time that I did, and I started like getting angry and getting like really kind of like obsessed about it, I just said to myself, Joe, no, you're not going to think about that. No. The more I did that, the more I was able to eventually let the situation go and to kind of be at peace with it. Not that I forgot about it, and not that I totally disregarded what happened, but I was able to kind of get myself out of the mode of beating myself up for not speaking up. And also at the same time too, for getting angry at the dentist and for thinking about it so much and letting it get to me the way that it is. And realizing that I can stop those thoughts if I need to. And that was my story. Hopefully it will be of help to anybody who is going to a doctor or a dentist and is maybe afraid to question or speak up to the person because of social anxiety or just fear of confrontation or conflict. I think a lot of people with social anxiety do fear disapproval, fear conflict, and fear confrontation. I know I do. I'm working on it. I'm doing the best that I can with it. But just keep that in mind if you ever are in that situation. Do not be afraid to speak up, and do not be afraid to, not aggressively, but assertively say, no, I don't want that done, or no, I want to get a second opinion. It's you, it's your body, and it's your life, and you're paying them to work for you. Don't let them control you and tell you what they want to do. Don't mean to sound a little bit preachy, but it's something that's a great lesson that I've learned from this whole experience. So hopefully it will be helpful to some of you, and I hope you enjoyed hearing my story. I will talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for watching, and